and strings str's all of same length. We may choose any deletion indices and we delete all character in those indices for each string. So suppose let's take the first example. The first string mention is BABCA and the second string mention is BBAJB. Let's give it the indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So for example, delete indices 0 to 3, then the final array after the okay. So we have to delete the indices column wise like 0, 1, 2, 3, or any of the columns. And suppose we choose a deletion of the indices such that after deletion the final array has every string row in lexicographic order. Okay, this means that after removing the remaining characters in the string should be in the sorted order, means it should be in the increasing order, like A should come before B, B should come before C, in that way. So, and finally we have to return the minimum possible value of answer dot length. Okay, so it's like remove less amount of integer. What the minimum number of characters you can or columns you can remove so that they all the strings in a particular array all become like this lexicographic order means sorted order. So once instead of thinking that way we can think it like that what all indices we can keep so that our strings will be in the sorted order. Okay, so first let's take the length of the strs. So it's generally a DP problem. You can think it DP way. Either we have to take this, either we don't have to take this. Pick, not pick, pick, not pick. That type of question. So now we can take the column length as len of str's or string length. So this will give us the this. And suppose I told you like we have to take we have to think it in the way like which all we can take. So suppose we took T columns in strings which are valid. So answer should be total number of columns minus we took that T. So what we have to return? We have to return this total columns minus T. And what the T? T should be a function which we will create. So let's create a helper function which we will pass here set dot helper, and what all it will take previous element, it will take current and the strs. Okay, so this will return. Now our task is to create this helper function. Okay, so let's go and create this helper function. Helper, what all we need to define? Previous, current, and the strs. Let's keep previous pass. Let's pass previous as -1 for the first element. Start with the index 0. Okay, now let's decide the base case afterwards. First, the case of not pick. Let's not pick the element at which we are. So, what will the best? Best will be, again, we will call the helper function, self.helper, and then previous will be same as we are not picking this element. Current will move to current plus 1 next, and the strs. Okay, and has what will be the condition for the pick? Pick, there can be many conditions. Like first, if let's first define that it's valid. Define valid is equal to true. Valid is equal to true. Okay. Now, in what case it will be not valid? If suppose if previous is not equal to -1, and then for row in range, sorry, row in range lane of strs for row in range if if strs of if previous element this previous element b, okay, previous element of that row string, the previous element if it is greater than The current one means this one. Suppose if this b is here, this b is greater than it, then we can't take. So we will mark valid is equal to false and we will break out of loop. Okay. So now the pick condition if valid is sorry if previous is equal to -1 or valid is equal to true, then we can take then best is equal to max of West, comma. As we are picking this, so we will add one as we have taken one column and again call the helper function dot helper. Now the new previous will be the current. The new current will be current plus one and we will pass the string and finally we will return the best. At what time are this recursive loop will break? When we reach the last of the column means if current is equal to lane of strs of 0. So we will return 0. Now let's check is our code working. Okay, so they have made some mistake. Oh sorry, we have not passed the self key, but normal Python issue. We have to pass the self inside the function in a class. See this pass, but if I try to submit it, this will give TLE as we have not memoized this. So we will create an array. I mean DP memoization. DP is equal to -1 for I in range m plus 1 because we are starting with -1. So we can go further, we can extend the column further one steps ahead so that -1 can be stored in place of 0. So that's how we store it in the DP table for I in range m. Okay, now pass this DP to all the function, otherwise it will give error. Pass the DP to all functions wherever we have called this helper function DP, then DP. Okay, and now simply store the value here. DP, put it here previous plus 1 so that -1 plus 1 value here is stored as 0 and current you can keep it like that, only current, and you can state best value here. So simply copy this and return this in the best part. Okay, and what else? You can start before checking pick or not pick. You can simply check it here. If the value is not equal to -1, you can simply return the value. Means we have already traced that part, and I think now it should work. Let's try to run this. Yeah, this is running successfully. Let's try to submit and see. Yeah, so our code has passed successfully. So thank you for watching.